Hello kids, hope you're all doing fine. So today we'll be seeing a new chapter in EVS, chapter number 16, travel. Okay, so people when they go from one place to another, they go for different reasons. They will be going from one place to another. No, some people they go in the morning, they go to their office, or maybe you may go to your schools, and even people they go to a nearby shop to get things, or sometimes to your friend's house, or maybe for a long vacations during holidays. So people they move from one place to another. So for moving from one place to another, we usually use what? Vehicles, isn't it? So we move from one place to another using vehicles. And if you take vehicles, there are so many different types of vehicles. Some they move very slow, some they move very fast. Okay, so if you take for example bicycles, they can't move at the speed of a car, so they will be moving along very slowly. Even scooters, these things are moving slow when compared to cars and also buses and so on. So we use vehicles, isn't it? It can be a big vehicle or a small vehicle. If you travel a short distance, we use small vehicles. If you travel long distance, then we use a bigger one, and a vehicle which will move very fast. Okay, so these vehicles, these are used as a means of transport. So to move from one place to another, it can be a long distance. When you travel from say Jamnagar to Baroda, you may use a bus or a train, isn't it? You can't go to Baroda in a cycle. Similar, if you want to go to your school, you can use a scooter or a cycle. You're just traveling a short distance, so you use a smaller vehicle. Okay, then when you take these vehicles, some vehicles they move on land, some in water, and some in the air. So when you take the vehicles which move on air, move on land, you can say what? Buses, cars, jeep, scooter, cycle, all this which will run on the road, that all those vehicles they are moving on land. Then in water, if you take for example here, see here, these are the means of transport, that is the vehicles which will move on land. So here you have the cycle, you have bullock carts. Even today in villages they use bullock carts to carry their goods from one place to another. Mostly farmers, they carry their products or maybe the grass from one place to the other. Then you have train also, you have so many variety. You have goods train to carry the goods or the things, and you have passenger trains which will carry people, and you have electric train, you have even they are starting bullet trains. So there are so many different types of trains according to the speed, and you can travel from for a longer distance, you can use trains. Okay, you have motorbikes, tractors, ambulances, cars, buses, all these they travel on land. Okay, then coming to the water, means of transport on water. Water also, you have a ship, which are, we find ships only in sea. You can't have ship in for moving along the rivers or lakes, because ships are very huge and they need a very large water body to travel. So ships are, it can be passenger ships, or even which will carry the goods. So in case of even you have steamers, and you have small boats, bigger boats. Okay, all these will carry people and also goods, and sometimes your vehicles also. So in the picture you can see where the people are loading their vehicles also into the small, it's a boat like. So they are just loading these vehicles also along with passengers, and they carry it to the other shore. Okay, so these are some of the vehicles that travel on water. Okay, coming to the third one, that is in air. So when you talk of air, means of transport in air, the first thing comes to our mind is aeroplanes. So in order to travel a long distance, say from our country to another country, we use aeroplanes. You can also use ships, cruise and all. They have luxury cruise and all. It travels from one country to the other. You can use that also, but most commonly people, they prefer aeroplanes because it is much faster. You can reach the destination or you can reach your place very fast. So less time is wasted, right? So aeroplanes, then helicopters. If you have a smaller distance, you will travel a helicopter. It is usually used during calamities or maybe a disaster. When there is a disaster, they use these helicopters to pick you up from the affected area and all. So you can't say it is totally a means of transport, but still for some people they even use helicopters to travel from maybe a shorter distance. They use where this aeroplane cannot land, they use helicopters. Okay, then you have hot air balloons. Even this hot air balloons, they travel in air, so you can move, but this also it's not a very common means of transport. Then you have ropeway, where this mostly in the hilly region when you can't climb, so people they prefer ropeway to reach the place or the destination very fast. Then if you are going outer space, you have to use a rocket. That also is not a means of transport, but still people, mostly scientists, they use it to travel to moon and all. Okay, rockets. So these are some of the means of transport in air, or the vehicles used to travel in air. Okay. Now coming to how these earlier people used to travel. So when you take the early man, they never had vehicles. They travel on land. That is, they used to walk on land. If they have to travel, they just walk from one place to another. And if they have goods, they carry it on their own back. They don't have or sometimes they may use a animal to carry their goods. Okay, so in the earlier times, they never had any vehicles. They used to move from one place to another on their legs, and they used to walk, and they used to carry their luggage on their back. Okay, and slowly when they invented wheels. So when wheel was invented, slowly they started developing smaller vehicles to carry people and also to carry goods. And when wheel came, mostly it was drawn by animals. That is, the animals were tied to this small vehicles, and then they were used to pull the cart. Mostly it can be a horse cart or a bullock cart. That is, bullocks and horses were usually used to pull the cart. And so after some time later, people slowly started building small vehicles, and finally today we find so many different types of vehicles. Even if you take car, there itself you have so many different types of cars, different types of buses, lorries, and all different types you find. So slowly they have developed, and today you find people traveling longer distance, or they are moving far away because they have a very good means of transport. That is, vehicles are very that is very useful and for traveling, and you have bigger vehicles which can travel very fast, and so you can reach the destination, or say you can reach the place where you have to go very fast. Okay, so with this I think today we'll be ending today's session. So the next session we will be seeing about the other about railways, and also about the choosing the modes of travel, which vehicles you will be choosing to